where the areas of focus and avenues of service meet. Welcome, Rotarians. This is Dr. O from the Rotary eClub of Florida. We want to talk about how members of clubs, districts, or zones can plan what we want to do to help our year and our future years provide service in different areas and different We want to look at first our avenues of service. What are the avenues of service? We have club service, which is operating the club successfully. And Rotary says that club service focuses on making clubs strong. A thriving club is anchored by strong relationships and active membership development plans. Preserving what you have done, let's say, through the Rotary Global History Fellowship is important so that we know what has been achieved in past years and how we can use ideas to grow from that work. We can use the Rotary Showcase to help us share our service with other clubs and through the district and find out what others have done in other clubs in other districts. For example, the Waterman has created paintings and has used his paintings with other clubs to raise funds. Vocational service is where you have an ideal of service throughout a business in the professional world, and it calls on every Rotarian to work with integrity and contribute their expertise to the problems and needs of society. Learn more in an introduction to vocational service and the Code of Conduct. Sharing our service in club meetings and by allowing job shadowing or interning at our business are examples. Think about members needing a midlife career change or a young person a life boost. Community service, participating in all activities that make the community a better place in which to live. On Rotary.org, it says, encourages every Rotarian to find ways to improve the quality of life for people in their communities and to serve the public interest. Learn more in Communities in Action, a guide to effective projects. Volunteering at social events, local charities, youth, emergencies, civic, religious, and medical facilities. All of these are community service. International service, encouraging and fostering the advancement of understanding and goodwill among people of the world. On Rotary.org, it says it exemplifies our global outreach in promoting peace and understanding. We support this service avenue by sponsoring and volunteering on international projects, seeking partners abroad, and more, going on National Polio Day administration events, participating in global grants, helping in fundraisers for international water or nutrition needs. And Shelter Box is one of those international and national projects of service. Youth service recognizes the importance of empowering youth and young professionals' leadership development. And programs include Rotaract, Interact, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and Rotary Youth Exchange. This is a mixture of quotes that I've covered on Rotary.org and original material that I've provided here. And then when we look at the areas of focus, this includes promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. And that can be done in many ways throughout the world. Saving mothers and children, growing local economies through many different ways, and supporting education and the environment. I have a chart here that you as a group are going to start filling out. And as you can see, you have a grid. And in this grid, as a group or as an individual sitting by yourself, you can start putting thoughts down. Just throw the ideas out. Don't judge your decisions. Don't criticize each other if you're in a group. Any opinion is valid until you start to strike things out later on. In the area of focus, you see peace, fighting disease. These are abbreviated. Water and sanitation and hygiene, saving mothers and children, supporting education, growing local economies, and the environment. And in the areas of service are vertical, and that's club, vocational, community, international, and youth. But they intersect. This is where they meet. And if you come down from saving mothers and children, it meets with each of the service areas. And you can do them randomly. You don't have to do them in order from top to bottom. And this is sort of like your multiplication tables or your addition tables. You can do them randomly, pick out environment and youth. And that may be teaching kids about planting cotton. Or when it comes to peace in the club, it may be doing interaction of how to deal with an issue. Water, sanitation, and hygiene and vocational may be teaching people how to clean a filter, and support education and vocational may be teaching someone, working with them on taking a teacher's test. So there are many different things. So when you look at the grid that you have in front of you, let's go down and go to Saving Mothers and Children at the top and come down to the header International Service, which is next to the bottom. Follow that down, and it may have many different choices there. But one that we can probably see, one I know of, is something called Sounds. Sounds is from a Montessori school in Atlanta. The founder is a Rotarian. She actually takes this program of sounding letters out at a young age, pronouncing the letters, and starting in a very specific order. She uses selling the materials and teaching people how to do it. And then she takes the materials and delivers them and teaches needy people in South Africa, Puerto Rico, and then destitute areas in the United States, and helping those people learn to speak. So it could also go in supporting education in other areas. So it could go in multiple blocks. It doesn't necessarily like it would be support education internationally, but it could also go into youth and support education and growing local economies, and it could go for adult also. So it would go into multiple blocks here. Now then we could also pick out another topic and fill it in the block. When it goes to Saving Mothers and Children internationally, the JJ Way is a woman in Winter Garden, Florida, a friend of mine, Jenny Joseph. She teaches midwifery, and she is from England, and she moved to the United States, and she has an extremely successful program. She also teaches doulas, and she just knocks people over with the ability to save mothers and children compared to the traditional delivery methods, and absolutely astounding delivery systems, and it's common sense childbirth. And you can do some research on her, commonsensechildbirth.org, the birthplace in Winter Garden, Florida. and she was a Rotarian and a Paul Harris Fellow. And it could also fit into some other categories. Under community service and peace is the HT signal for safety, which I helped develop, and through our Rotary eClub of Florida. That could be under peace and community service, and it's available in 14 languages on multiple continents. And this signal helps to rescue or be rescued from human trafficking. Now, it could also fit under multiple categories. And the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery is a Rotary Action Group, which every member should be in a Rotary Action Group and in a fellowship. And you can study this at Rotary.org. Do Rotary.org and search for Rotary Action Groups, and Rotary.org and search for fellowships. Now, after you have put these or similar topics in, each of you should sit there in your groups or individually and brainstorm over different service projects you can do and events you can hold. You might want to do a chart where you look at services, projects, and events on a separate sheet. Once you've filled a chart out for service projects, and once you do a sheet for events, then you're going to come back together as a group, as an entire group, and put your hats back on as an entire group to discuss it. So please take a break, work on this, and then we will discuss it again. So let's stop, break, and finish filling out this entire chart. Welcome back. This is an example of my completed chart. This is a group that has sat down and tried to come up with as many different service projects and activities that they could do to help the community from projects that these people knew. Video teaching, video monitoring, mentoring, planting trees, speaking, missions, Q Latinx, HT Signal, fairs, the birthplace, screening, charity and love, Peace Scholars, hygiene packs, La Fatima, Haiti, orphanage, doulas, HIV prevention, bullying projects, Ryla Camp, missions, you name it. See, this is a fully filled out package. Now, the point with this chart is that it's a working document. It's so that we can say, okay, this is the input that all of you have brought together. All of you have put in some kind of contribution. Now, this is where we sit down and flesh out what we can do. Thank you for your contribution. At this point, your officers or your board is going to print this out, share it with you. Everyone's going to get a copy. Thank you for your contribution. If you want a copy, an extra copy of your blank sheet so that you can use it later or add more to it, here is your blank form.